Welcome to MMA Fancast. My name is Luke Basin. Welcome back to everyone who is already a subscriber to the channel. If you're not already a subscriber, please subscribe so you can see more great interviews, including the one coming at you right now. Always my honor to have not only a first-time guest on the show, but I think it's a special treat to have any fighter, in this case a man, who's about ready to make his amateur MMA debut. That's always a special time to go from an 0-0 and see what happens when a fighter steps inside the cage for the first time. And tonight we will be joined by a gentleman who's going to be one half of a debut versus debut fight for 247 Fighting Championships Brawl in the Burgh 24, 8 days away on October 26th at the Greater Pittsburgh Combat Sports Center in Coriopolis. Super exciting to have first-time guest on the show. Hopefully first of many times. Kyle Geissinger. Welcome to the show, Kyle.
Let's go. You know how to get me pumped, Luke. Heck yeah. Honored to be here, brother.
I am always excited to have new people on the show. You've been very kind to be excited to jump on. We are just 8 days away from your amateur MMA debut, and I'm sure you're super excited about that. But let's go into history a little bit. First time on the show. Talk to me a little bit about your athletic background. What did you do athletically from little up through as old as you were before you got into MMA?
Oh, man, that's a lot. But I'll tell you, I started off in flag football when I was 8 years old. Started off in flag football. I've dabbled with basketball when I was at a young age, up in about middle school. When I hit high school, I got into wrestling, wrestled up through high school, 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th grade. I wrestled. So I got that in my arsenal. Other than that, man, I grew up in a community, a real active community. We play a lot of basketball at the park. We play a lot of any sports, man. We'll bowl, we'll play tennis, we'll do anything. So, I kind of got that athletic ability of different kinds of sports. And
that is wonderful. The all around athlete. What got you first starting to train MMA? Was it kickboxing, boxing, wrestling, jiu-jitsu? What first got you into it?
Now, Luke, I graduated from Juniata Valley, the same school Ethan Goss graduated from. And about 5-6 years back, I went into Gorilla House just to kind of try it out. I was just wanting to defend myself, go in there. And, I seen Ethan, seen what he was doing, seen what he was accomplishing. And it definitely got my interest sparked, but I was kind of timid at the time. I think I was 19 years old. I'm 26 now. So I was kind of, timid. Didn't know if I was meant for it. Didn't know if I had it in me, so I took a couple years off. My nose, and into my family, everything invested with my family, got my life going, and stayed in my mind, man. It just stayed in my head to where it's like, man, I need to do this. This 26, and I'm like, man, you ain't getting any younger. You got to get it going. If you're going to do this, you got to get it going, and you got to give it everything you got. And that's what I've been doing, man, for about the last year when I hooked up with Coach Matt Reed. So,
well, talk about finding the gym. What gym have you been training at for a year, and what's it been like to try to learn like the well-roundedness of MMA?
It's been a blessing, man. Coach Reed. He makes it seem a lot easier than what it really is. And, he's a blessing to have in my corner, and just have him as a coach. He's been there every step of the way, mentally, physically, emotionally. He's making sure checking all the boxes. But, I started off, I went into Coach Reed's gym, and I messaged him and I said, Coach, before I even went to his gym, I was like, hey, you mind if I come in and use your gym and get a fight and, get everything going, and I'll just use your gym. I don't, you don't have to be in my corner. You don't have to nut, but I want to use your gym, and I'll go get this fight lined up. And he's like, what are you talking about, man? Like, you got come in here, talk to me. I want to see where your mind's at, and we can get some more training in. And that's what I did. I went in, I talked to him. He told me, he's like, I think I went in November and talked to him, and I was ready to fight in December for you guys. I signed my own fighter's form. I was looking to get that going. to put his gym down. So I had a gym under my name, and I was ready to go, man. But he he kind of let me know, like, hey, man, this ain't no joke. You need to be ready. That you can't take this lightly. Like, come in here, get a good training camp, maybe get a tournament under your belt. Grappling tournament under your belt, just to see how it feels, how you like it, and so that's what I did. I took his word for it. I entered a grappling industries tournament back in April, fared pretty well in two divisions. Two divisions. I joined two gi and no gi.
Sure.
So I did well in both of them. So I'm like, yeah, man, let's get it going. Let's get this going. So we've been tearing it up since then, man. We've just been nose grinding and getting to it.
Well, I think it's always a great thing to emphasize, and I appreciate you sharing the fact of listening to your coaches, like getting a coach that's willing to kind of put a time frame. Every coach is different, but I think in the long run, I think it's great that you listen to your coach. We will see in 8 days on October 26th, kind of not only your work, but also Coach Reed's work and everybody at the Total Martial Training Center you've been training at. So for you, what are you looking forward to the most? Making the walk? Have you been to a 247 event before? It kind of sounds like you might have been. Kind of like, what are your thoughts about debuting for 247? And then what are your thoughts on your matchup and the fight coming up?
Oh man, I'm so excited. So I've never been in, but I've watched a couple of the events. I've watched Ethan when he fought for his double championship status. And that really is what put me on. I don't know if you remember, that was I don't know if that was October, November, but right after I watched that, man, that's when I hit Coach Reed up. I'm like, I need in this, man. I need to throw my name in the hat here and get this going. But yeah, I'm excited, man. I got high expectations for myself, but low pressure on myself. My team let me know, hey, win, lose, or draw, we all here, we love you regardless. So, and him telling me that is all I needed to hear to kind of take the pressure off my shoulders and be like, you know what? Let's go get to it, man. Let's get this going. So I'm excited. I'm confident. I've had a great training camp, great training partners. Like I'm so excited, man. I keep visualizing just different ways this could be and how I expect it to be, making different calculations in my head and addressing all of them. So I'm excited, man. I'm for the opportunity.
Well, that's the excitement that I always love to hear, particularly from somebody making your debut. No matter how it goes, and hopefully it goes really well for you, this is gonna forever be your amateur debut. It's gonna be what it is. You're gonna make the most of it. Obviously, you're excited. I think it's gonna be always fun. Anytime a 0-0 fights an 0-0, we really learn a lot. The crowd learns a lot. The fans learn a lot, and you learn a lot. So I can't wait to see it. As far as your fan group goes, about like how many people are going to be there for you? Who are you looking forward to? I know you've got a family. Like, what's the reaction been when you started announcing that this was going to be your debut fight?
Love and support, man. And it's the same thing my coach told me. We're coming 30 deep. So we got about 30 people coming, tickets sold. I'm expecting 10 to 15 pay-per-views being sold here. So for amateur, I think that's pretty decent. But they all let me know too, man. Like, we're here for you. Go out there, give it your best. And they're not expecting. They're just wanting me to go out there, have a good time. I got other things in mind. I'm feeling confident. I'm ready, and I'm looking for a win, man. So I'm ready.
That is so exciting. Well, I know you have mentioned Ethan the Wolverine Goss several times. I always like to call him the most handsome man in MMA. He's an incredible guy. First ever double champ, pro level double champ for 247. He's been recovering from an injury and for a little bit, but it's been incredible. If you can have, and I know you don't train with him regularly, but if you can have that mindset, one thing that makes Ethan the Wolverine Goss so great is the grind, the listening to the Gorilla House guys. If you listen to your coach Reed at Total Training Center and you build like that, it's about the development, and that's what's been awesome to see. And many other fighters have shown that as well. So I can't wait to see you. You've already talked about selling tickets, so that's fantastic. If people still want tickets, either get them from him, get them from Kyle, get them from his gym, or go to 247fighting.com. Get the tickets online. Make sure you give Kyle credit. And if you're one of those people that are going to be on the pay-per-view and you're curious about that, go ahead and download the 247 Live app in any app store. That's the best way to get a pay-per-view. You download the app, it can go on any smart device, and you can then buy the pay-per-view that way, and make sure you give Kyle credit that way. I can't wait to see you in action. Thanks so much. We're almost on fight week. Tomorrow will be officially a week from your debut. Thanks so much for coming on. You've been listening to Luke Basin for MMA Fancast, and first-time guest of the show, about ready to make his amateur debut in 8 days for 247 Fighting Championships Brawl in the Burgh. 24 is Kyle Geissinger. Thanks so much for coming on the show, sir. See you in a week.
You're the man, Luke.
You're the man. Thanks so much. Take care.
See you in a week, brother. You take care.
See you in a week.